Tell me about your life in the U.S. Did you have fun? Was it hard?
My life in the U.S., I was able to gain a lot of experience, a lot of friends. Um, the and but also the I had to work hard because I have to support myself. I have to make sure, it was very different because in the Philippines, we have maids, and we have, we're relying on my mom to support us and so forth. But when I got here, I have no support. I have to support myself. I have to pay rent to my, the landlord, and then I have to make sure that, I have my necessities, my daily necessities met. So I, really had to struggle hard, and then make myself be more progressive, so that I would be able to accomplish something.
Do you remember your first job and how you got it?
My first job, as I said, the first professional job I did was at the Bank of America, and there was, my landlord's friend. She's the one of the assistant vice president in another unit. And then when I started working, the bus, there's a commuter bus that goes all the way to from the express, the 14 express bus goes all the way to San Francisco. Most of them, like 90% of them, are my friends. So we were like, we already know everybody, and I was lucky that I had that, the special way of getting friends easily.
So you're, what is it? Outspoken?
I guess.
What was the most difficult adjustment for you?
The most difficult adjustment for me was, I wanted, because of my I think if I had graduated, if I had finished my education, I would have been promoted. I would have had a higher level of position, and I wouldn't have to struggle so much for the, for my, because as I said, I had a son at the time, so I had to support him. So it was the money. I think the financial was the hardship part.
How did your life here compare to your life in the Philippines?
My life here, in the Philippines, with my mother's business, we're kind of pretty much settled with, we were going to school, we had maids, we had drivers, and we just spend, whatever, and whatever she gets from her business. But
what were the differences in values between the Philippines and America?
I think the Philippines is more, there's still the conservative part, they're still in some way very, very conservative, so in the United States, they, everything, you smoke joint, you kiss in public, in back then in the Philippines, it's taboo to be kissing in public unless it's your husband or your boyfriend, even like hugging, at that time. Okay, this is different now, nowadays different, but at that time, even hugging, we don't hug, I mean, hug for girls, but not hug for men. It's like, you don't hug men or boys because they're not your husband, they're not your boyfriend. So